Coming up on this week's edition of AU Hoop Talk with Coach Brennan, presented by Launchbox Golf, we'll take a look at the postseason awards, including Saeed Nelson as Player of the Year, and we'll look forward to the postseason. It all starts right now. Welcome into AU Hoop Talk with Coach Brennan, presented by Launchbox Golf. Dan Laing, Coach Brennan, and Coach, let's jump into the fact that it's a little bit of postseason time, so that means hardware's been handed out, and you guys got a couple of pretty good pieces, including Player of the Year. No shock, Saeed Nelson.
Yeah, no, I thought he had a great year. We appreciate the respect from all the other coaches, but I think he deserved it. The numbers he put up, how important he is to our team, just his overall game. He does everything on both ends of the court, so it's well deserved, and very happy for Saeed.
First player in the Patriot League, 2,000 points, 500 assists, 500 rebounds, 250 steals. For you, what was it that really clicked for him during this regular season that really separated him? In the past, he's been preseason Player of the Year, but this year he finally gets the award.
Yeah, well, he just has help this year. He's surrounded by older players, guys that can put the ball in the basket, guys that can help him, and it just sort of allows him to even do even more. More assists when the ball's going in the basket, more rebounds when other people are boxing out. So he's taking advantage of what we have this year as a team.
Did you think that would always be the case once other pieces around him matured, or you had other pieces around him that were able to help him facilitate? Did you think he'd be able to take that on and sort of adjust his game a little bit?
Yeah, he was already doing it. It just didn't show up maybe in the box score as completely as it is now. Mm-hmm. He was getting other guys shots, he's rebounding, he's doing a ton to have us be in game after game after game. But now we're finally just a little more mature, older. We have more pieces, more weapons surrounding him. So that's a big part of it.
And has he really taken on the mantle of leader, of guys, let's work on this, guys, let's do this, guys, let's do that? Is that his way of doing things? Is he a little bit more quiet? How does he sort of approach that around his teammates?
Yeah, he's not like a super vocal leader, real loud, but he does talk to the guys all the time. He keeps everybody, on the same page, doesn't let guys, get too high or too low, and he understands with what I'm looking for, what's important to me. So, for the new guys, he's able to sort of, sometimes translate that in his own way.
What are some of the things that you do look for? What are some of the things that maybe he's had to help bring the young guys along a little bit? Yeah,
it's the same stuff as any other coach. Just playing together, sharing the ball, playing hard. But at this level, and the stakes are high, and it's Saeed's last year and league play, all that kind of stuff. He knows how important each possession is. So him, sort of getting across to the guys how important all these little details that we talk about on a daily basis are. It's helpful to have him, sort of reiterating the message.
How much pressure does he put on himself? Do you put on him, or do you feel because this is his last go-round?
No, I don't think there's pressure. There's just maybe a heightened sense of urgency. But the group likes each other. They're working hard. They're sharing the ball. I think as long as we do the things that we talk about on a daily basis, defensively and offensively, it's not making shots. It's not that type of pressure. It's putting pressure on yourself to just go out and give an effort on every single possession is what we're looking for, and they're essentially doing it.
And you've been around some of the best point guards in AU history. You were around Derek Mercer, of course, Pee Wee Gardner, and now Saeed Nelson. not necessarily probably the easiest topic, but can you compare and contrast those three? I mean, because each of them had a little bit of a different style.
Yeah, no, they're all certainly unique in their own way. They brought different things to the table, but they're constants. They were hard workers, leaders, competitors. They showed up in big moments. So I mean, the only difference right now is the winning. I mean, Mercer won. Pee Wee, Mercer won 2 championships. Pee Wee won 1 championship. So I'd like to do the best we can down the stretch here. So Saeed gets to hopefully enjoy something like that too.
Indeed. Last regular season game was up at Holy Cross in Worcester, Mass. And it was a heck of a game. You guys came away with a 43-point victory, largest margin of victory for an AU team since 1995. What does that say about where your team is right now?
Yeah, I mean, I think they came out ready and focused. Obviously Holy Cross, they're banged up. They had maybe 8 healthy bodies. But Butler's left hand is essentially in a cast. So they were worn down and beat up. So that certainly contributed, to the score. But we did what we were supposed to do. I thought we were ready to play. We executed the things that we practiced going into the game. Thought we were alert and working hard on defense. So I think it was just a combination of those 2 things that led to the lopsided score. But got to sort of get back down to earth here and understand that the next game will be a battle regardless of who we wind up playing.
Well, and that's what the next thing I was gonna talk to you about was the fact that you beat Holy Cross by 43 points, but now you've kind of got to be like, okay, that was great, but now we got to buckle down because the next opponent may not be like that, may be like that, but may not be like that. How do you, as a coach, sort of refocus everybody? Everybody's having a great time, everybody's having fun. Allow that to marinate for a little bit, and then sort of refocus everybody a day or 2 later. Is that how you go about it?
Yeah, I mean, this year, when you win, you get to breathe and relax a little bit in between games. So you definitely allow your guys to enjoy the positive moments, the wins, and supporting each other. A bunch of guys were able to get in the game. Jesse hadn't played a ton, so he was in there playing a lot. Christian got in the game. Yeah. Got a few minutes there. So Josh was able to get in there and play forward. So it was good for the guys to get reps. Because I feel confident that they could all help us, and they took it. It wasn't like we were up by a lot, so everyone's out there just running around trying to get shots up. They're trying to do the things that we're talking about on a daily basis, and I was happy with their approach and what they did. So I think it's a mature group, and I think they understand that that game's over. The next one's going to be much tougher. As
you wrapped up the regular season, 12-6 record and second spot in the standings, and that's the best finish during a regular season for an AU team since the 2013-14 season. So that's got to mean a lot. Is that something that you're going to bring up, talk to the guys at all about, or no? Yeah, I mean, I let them know that is a great accomplishment. Obviously Colgate came in, picked one, and rightfully so, and I think they are the best team in the league right now. But for us to win those regular season games and put ourselves in a good position for the tournament is important. So, but that's essentially all that it means. You got to capitalize on all that work now. Time for our first time out here on AU Hoop Talk with Coach Brennan, presented by Launchbox Golf. When we continue, we'll look more at the career of Saeed Nelson. That's next.
one of the big things that's positive for the Eagles here early on this season, 3 guys scoring in double figures, and that's good because one of them's a freshman.
Yeah, definitely. Of course, we've talked about there with Saeed Nelson, the talented young guard, but also.
Saeed, what's up, man? It's Andre Ingram, AU class of 2007. Just wanted to congratulate you, man, on such a stellar career and for passing me on the all-time scoring list. Just been proud of all that you do. Just know you got people in faraway places watching what you do. So go Eagles.
Saeed is a special player, man. He's special. And, you know, my whole mindset is I'm just trying to go out there and help him as much as I can because he does everything for the team. I mean, you look at the stat sheet, like points, assists, rebounds, like everything, steals.
You know, he's a great player, man. He has a great career here. And, you know, we're trying to have it end off real special with a bid to the NCAA tournament. So,
Saeed, this is Frank Ross, class of 87 AU Eagles. Congratulations on climbing up that scoring ladder. I know you put a lot of hard work in your craft because that's the only way you can climb up that ladder. Continue your excellence on the floor and go Eagles.
Such a good kid, you know, he's a great kid. You know, he's never have to worry about him going to class, going to study hall, any of that type of stuff. But he leads us in every way possible. You know, I'll mention to the team, hey, we got to, you know, have some other guys going after offensive rebounds. And the very next play, Saeed soaring through the air.
Saeed down the left side, 2 seconds, turnaround fader is good at the horn. What a shot by Saeed Nelson to win the game.
How do you deal with all the pressure and all the things that are sort of put on you by everyone?
Just try not to think about it too much. I mean, obviously, you
like
hear it.
Right?
You hear it all the time. You're gonna break the record. You're gonna do this. You're gonna do that. I mean, but I just, my main goal is to win a league championship.
Now Saeed looking to take it, lays it off the glass and in. So the senior taking matters into his own hands.
And it's definitely, you know, a blessing to be in this situation. Never thought I would be in this situation, but like you said, at the same time, that's not my goal at all. I'm just trying to play every game. No matter if I have 0 points, 5 points, and we win, I'm good.
Saeed, my man, you did it. I didn't think I'd see this in my lifetime. But you've broken the all-time scoring record, and I cannot congratulate you enough for the achievement. You've done everything the right way since you've been here, and I thank you personally and your family for sticking with us for 4 years and for helping our school and our program continue to have success. And thank you so much, and congratulations.
Welcome back to AU Hoop Talk with Coach Brennan, presented by Launchbox Golf. And Coach, let's talk a little bit about Stacey Becton Jr. and the year that he's had. 3rd team All-Patriot League, also part of the All-Defensive team, and just the maturity process that you've seen from him from the beginning of this season until now, and how much he's grown.
Yeah, no, he's just doing a ton more for us on both ends of the court. You know, he's taken on the role, and it wasn't sort of anointed. You know, I wouldn't anoint him our best defender. You know, he's done that. He'll guard, the other post player. He'll guard point guards. His help defense is great. He's constantly sprinting back, stopping transition, getting steals from behind. So it's mostly about effort, but his ability and his mind for the game, his instincts they're all there.
How much of that speaks to confidence as well, to that stuff? I mean, obviously you have to be athletic, but how much much also goes along with the confidence component of things.
Yeah, no, I mean he's been around. He's been here for 3 years now, so he knows each team, who the best player is, some of the sets that they're looking to get them the ball, and he always winds up being the guy, whether it's guarding a wing or guarding a guy in the post or an isolation play or something. I like the fact that he's sort of taken on that responsibility, and he accepts the challenge. He wants the challenge. He looks forward to it. But to be honest, most of it is just his help defense. It's not just a mano-a-mano thing. It's what he does off the ball. Him and Saeed sort of leading the way defensively, and I think everyone following suit from there.
You mentioned Saeed. Did it shock you at all that he wasn't a part of the all-defensive team or the Defensive Player of the Year?
Well, I mean, he's an awesome defender, so I don't know, the awards, I don't really pay too much attention to that stuff, but I know that, throughout this year, the course of the year, he's been 2,000 points, the rebounds, all that stuff. He's been just as good on the defensive end in every capacity. I mean, how many point guards are averaging over 5 or however many rebounds he's averaging? Not many do that. So it just shows how focused he is on.
And the steals.
And the steals, yeah.
I mean, top 3 in the country in that department.
Yeah, no.
That's pretty impressive. I mean, that shows a lot of hustle. That shows a lot of focus.
Yeah, he literally, we lost up at BU, but he literally tried to win the game simply by stealing the ball the last 4 or 5 possessions, and he almost did it. But it's so much more than that. I mean, obviously you can go on and on, talking about his game, but yeah, he's had a heck of a senior year.
Now, with the postseason upon us, you guys have the home quarterfinal game and perhaps a home semifinal game as well. How important is that? Obviously, it's great to finish second in the league, but the way that the Patriot League's set up, the higher seed hosts, so you potentially have the chance to host a couple games. How important is that in being at home here in Bender Arena?
Yeah, no, it's huge being at home. That first game on Thursday. So whoever you're playing, they play on Tuesday. They have to travel, so a lot goes into that. So it's really important to have a few days of maybe not rest, but not have to play, and just maybe shore up some things that you want to shore up on in practice. Give the guys some time to sort of relax and breathe a little bit, and get really focus in on the next challenge, which is that game on Thursday.
When you look at the fact of preparing for that game on Thursday and not knowing until late Tuesday night who your opponent is, how tough is that to start the preparation process, or do you? At that point, are you just focusing on yourself and things that you perceive as shortcomings from the team that you want them to work on internally, and then, all right, once we figure this out, once we know who wins and advances, then we'll break out the scout and we'll break it down as far as that goes? Because, I mean, you've already faced the team twice.
Right. Yeah. I mean, at this point, you kind of know, the things that you need to really work on and hone in on offensively and defensively. So, those first couple of practices, they're just general things that apply to regardless of who you play. Just communication, boxing out, talking, transition defense, all that type of stuff. So there's definitely, tons to work on. And, there's similarities, Holy Cross and Bucknell, they both, switch, 1 through 5 defensively in the past. So, you're working on that a little bit, so it applies to both teams. But there's always, so much that you can work on regardless of who your opponent is.
And as you prepare and as you get ready for this, when you take a look at the fact that obviously to win the Patriot League tournament, get that auto bid to the field, is it something that you discuss as a coach? Do you sit there and say, all right, guys, we got to get on a run, we got to go on a run, we got to do this? Or is it something, obviously they know, I mean, in this day and age, everything's shared, everybody knows everything instantaneously. Is there anything that you need to say or do say, or do you kind of just, kind of take a step back as far as the big picture component of things go?
Yeah, well, there's never really big picture. It's always small picture, to be honest. It's just, having a good practice that day, making sure that we have a good practice, and, just zeroing in on, win the next game. The opponent, what do they do well? What do we need to stop? How will they guard us, etc. Because there is no big picture if you don't take care of business, one day at a time. So, that's what we do all year. That's what most coaches do, I would suspect. And the group has been great. They've really, every practice I go home, feeling good about the practice because it feels like we've gotten better, drastically at something. We've addressed, whatever issues we have as a team or individuals or whatever it may be. So just, stringing all together good practices consistently has been, important for our success this year.
Well, best of luck Thursday, and hopefully you're feeling as good after the game.
Great, thanks, Dan.
All right, that's Coach Brennan, and that'll do it for this edition of AU Hoop Talk with Coach Brennan, presented by Launchbox Golf. For Coach, I'm Dan. We'll see you next time.